Hello and a very warm welcome to this special. Now the debate over who is the greatest of them all in the world of tennis can continue and it'll go on forever, but there is absolutely no debate on who is the greatest on clay. Rafael Nadal's already won 13 titles in French Open and now will look to add to what has already been an overflowing cabinet for him, given that he's already won 21 Grand Slams overall, as he takes on Alexander Zverev in the semi-finals today. I have with me Ankita Bhamri, former Indian tennis player and now a coach who's taken the time out to preview this game for us and what we can expect, how this the game will play out. Ankita, thank you so much for taking the time out. First of all, just the fact that Rafael Nadal's already spent, what, 8.5 hours on court in the last 5 days. And on top of that, we know that foot injury keeps nagging him. How do you see this game playing out?
I think we cannot talk about the foot injury at the moment, looking at the previous match where he dominated most of the, long rallies. That has been his forte throughout his career. And also, we also get to see a lot of it in the quarters and the previous matches as well, where he could just rally his way against Novak. And if you can do it against a player of such a caliber, then I think the rest of the matches are going to be even more tougher for the players to come. But having said that, I think this Roland Garros has been, very, very historic. With all these, with Djokovic and Nadal playing the quarters, there's still 2 more matches for Nadal to go before he ends up lifting another 14th anticipated, Grand Slam title here at Roland Garros, with a lot of young players coming in the bottom half of the draw. A semi-finals clash with Zverev. So I think there's still a lot more to see at the stadium in Roland Garros.
And look at those numbers, 21 major titles, French Open 13. That in itself is absolutely incredible, to think that some of the greatest who played the game have not won here at the Roland Garros. I mean, that's how incredible this is for the likes of Boris Becker, John McEnroe, who haven't been able to win here, Pete Sampras. US Open, he's won 4, Australian Open 2. Of course, we remember it took some time for him winning the Australian Open the second time after he won the first one, and then Wimbledon twice. But this has been incredible, really. 61 titles on clay, 81 consecutive wins on clay. And on top of that, his record at the French Open is incredible as well. I'll come to that. But ATP titles, 91, 2 Olympic gold. That's the goals. Let's not count that out. How absolutely brilliant has his career been? And I think that just takes me to the next question, that, it's a different beast playing here on clay. Like I was saying, some of the greatest haven't been able to do it. You talk about the women in tennis as well. Kim Clijsters has never won here. Venus Williams has never won here. So you're really, this is for him to be able to do this 13 times. And some of the greats actually have overall less than 13 Grand Slam titles. He's won on clay 13 times. He loves this court, and it would be fitting that Rafael Nadal, on his birthday, as he turned 36 today, wins again. And at the end of the day, I also feel, Ankita, that I hope his foot is fine, because then we can actually see that competition between Nadal and Zverev.
I think these are some incredible numbers that we just mentioned. They're going to be legendary for, I think, a very, very long time to come. I completely agree with the fact that many of the great players, be it men or women, however on top of their game were, whether it was Sampras, who I idolized all through my playing years, or Graf, I mean, they all struggled when it came to clay. And this guy, as a teenager, has been dominating this, this surface like how? I mean, 13 Grand Slams with trying on 14, being 36 years old. I think that's an age where people would have retired long time back. And he's still showing all of us how incredibly great he is, not only on clay, throughout his playing career. And what a tough competition he has been so far in this French Open.
I mean, there's no question about his work ethic. There is no question about his fighting spirit, his skill, undoubtedly. But there are two things that stand out for me, Ankita. One is his will to go on and do it again and again with the pain that he faces. And it's not the first time he's had an injury. His career has seen these phases where he's been injured, but it's how he's come back strong every time, because you didn't see that with some of the others. I know that the others have had injury, but somehow when you look at the top three, he's been the one who keeps getting injured. He's always had some problem or the other, but it's just how he's bounced back. And I feel like that's what separates him from a lot of other great players, not just in tennis, but otherwise as well, how he's managed his injuries.
I think there could be a book on how well he comes back each and every time, being down and out. I know it's not easy. I played this game myself. My brother's still playing and competing, and it's incredibly tough when you have an injury to go through the entire process, whether it's surgery, whether it's rehab, whether it's countless exercises of getting that muscle, getting that leg or shoulder back together, and to be able to perform at that level, it's incredible. It's something that is, he's been doing it time and again, and I think it's something that we can talk about for hours and hours end, but no one has been able to figure it out, and how he has been doing it consistently on and on, again and again, especially when it comes to the French, especially when it comes to his favorite surface, clay, because the amount of intensity, the grind, the rallies that happen here at that level of tennis, the toll that it can take on your body is tremendous. So to be able to consistently perform despite an injury, despite the pain, shows what a big, great legend he is, and what all has he done for the sport of tennis.
And the other thing being, you were talking about rallies. Now, here's a man who's struggling with an injury. He had a stretch fracture in his rib at Indiana Wells. In Rome, he said, my foot injury, I cannot play. He comes back and does this, that he's in the finals after beating Novak Djokovic. And not just that, throughout the tournament, he's at a very good percentage of long rallies where he has won the points. And so my thing is that if you're struggling with your foot, you're still being able to play these long rallies. And in fact, that could be the difference today in the game that they play, because I was looking at it, he's won 60% of his rallies, which are longer than 5 points, whereas for Zverev, he has mostly scored off shorter rallies. So, at the end of the day, Rafael Nadal, foot injury or not, is doing much better with longer rallies.
Nadal and rallies kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Because that high intensity, very heavy forehand does wonders on the tennis court, irrespective of the fact that you have a Federer, a Djokovic, or a Zverev, as an opponent. It hurts each and every player. So we've seen that time and again. He's been really good on his first serves, and I think this is where he is going to be having the upper hand. I'm an all-time Nadal fan, and I don't know why, but I did strongly believe that he would come through, even though I know a lot of my fellow players and coaches were rooting in for Djokovic, and it did come true in the end. And I do feel that he's still the favorite going in here, into this match. But we cannot discount the fact that Zverev has been doing extremely well. There are certain points that he will be, keen to look into to be able to pull it off and pull it through if he wants to win his first Grand Slam.
And in fact, talking about Zverev, let's look at his numbers as well in the quarterfinals that he played, and some of those numbers stand out for us. Given that he'd beaten this teenage sensation who had been in red-hot form, we've all been talking about Alcaraz, he beat him, but I think Zverev comes into this tournament and especially into this semi-final with a point to prove. He himself has said he's not getting any younger, but look at that, 7 aces, 73% first serve points. I think he'll look at that. I don't think he'll wait for the second serve, given that Nadal's been pouncing on the second serve throughout the tournament, and he's been by far the best against second serve of his opponents, but 219 kilometers per hour, that's his fastest serve. I just feel like for Zverev, I think this is a now or never kind of a moment. He's spoken about it, but it's incredible that in a situation like this, Ankita, you're playing one of the best ever. But at the same time, the pressure is still on Zverev, who has nothing to lose. And why I say this is, it's only when you play against these top three, you know that pressure is not something that'll worry them. It's almost like, you know what I mean? Like when we talk about, I'm just going to...
It could probably be one of his greatest matches, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the greatest matches of his life. Playing Nadal on clay, playing in the semi-finals, playing against someone who's, you know, going in for his 14th Grand Slam. I think the stats could not have been any bigger, could not have been any more grand. So I think this could be one of his biggest matches and biggest stage for his career, although he does say he's not getting any younger. But if you look at Djokovic and Nadal playing tremendous tennis at the age of 36, I think he still has a long way to go. So, but I think now is the time. If he's able to get it together today, if he's able to pull in the goods, if he's able to get those first serves going, and if he has a chance today, then this could be one of his greatest matches of his life.
Also, somewhere at the back of his mind, given that he has been playing well, he must think that how is it that I've not been able to beat any of the players in top 10 in the Grand Slam? I mean, that's something that Zverev would also be thinking about. But listen, the debate of who is the greatest will carry on. And that brings me to the next question now. I don't want to jinx it. If Roger Federer is not playing, then I am Rafael Nadal fan, a big one, but only when Roger Federer is not playing. Having said that, what do you think Nadal will be approaching this as? Because I kind of get this feeling, and I know a lot of others have been writing it. New York Times, I read a piece, I think by Christopher Cleary, where he said that it seems like he's seeing this as his last one. Do you think that he's approaching it like that? Because he said it in some of the press conferences before. He's like, I want to push myself. This is it. French Open is where I want to. Do you get that feeling that maybe we're seeing him for the last time? And I know nothing is impossible with Nadal, but somehow with his body not holding up.
I think I've realized this from the past few years, that never say never when it comes to Federer or Nadal. Every time you think this is it, whether it was a 2018 clash or, you know, or 19, you see them coming back stronger than ever, beating these teenagers, beating the top 10 players of the world who've been dominating the Masters, who've been winning titles throughout the year, and they make it seem so easy, and it looks like they had never left. So they come back into these Grand Slams owning them, you know, knowing that this is a situation where they've been in multiple times in the last, you know, years to come, and they've been here, they've done it, they've won against all odds. When you look at them being down 5-2, you know, serving
in the fourth set,
against Djokovic, and then then he manages to pull through. You don't expect them to not play a fifth set, and just when you think, oh, another fifth set coming in, and then he goes all out and pulls out a game that we haven't seen before. So when you're talking about a player and a man of that stature, I think nothing seems impossible. So whether it's pressure, no pressure, they've done it all. And I think if, like I heard him say in one of his press conferences, I'm just here to play well. I think I've played well before, and I'm going to play well again. I think I'm ready. Then you know that they are ready.
Yeah. I also think that you already, I know the answer to my next question, which is who is the greatest of them all, because I know you're a Nadal fan. And on top of that, I mean, you look at his records, and Gaurav on the other show when we were talking about his win against Novak Djokovic after the quarterfinals said, listen, there is no doubt now. he is the greatest. I mean, look at his records. Numbers speak for something. And the longevity has been almost the same as Roger Federer and Djokovic. And so, yeah, you look at the numbers, you look at what he's achieved, he is the greatest.
Yeah, definitely is. I mean, I have been rooting for Nadal and Federer both. They have very contrasting game styles, and I think I speak to all the young tennis players, and I ask them to see, you know, what is it that you can learn from these contrasting game styles, and the amount of Grand Slams that they have won, the way they've conducted themselves on the court. There is so much that one can learn from them. And coming back to this match and coming back to the tournament, I think I'm going to just enjoy the game, being a fan. I'm just going to see who can pull out the goods, whether Zverev can fire out those aces. Can he keep those double faults in control? Because we know that's been bothering him. He has quite a few, and that's not going to work in his favor if he wants to win his service games against Nadal, because Nadal is not going to be giving him much of an opportunity.
Yeah.
So today is the day when a good serve, a good forehand, keeping the rallies, not very long, are going to be one of his key points going into this match. So it's going to be very exciting to watch and learn how these two great players come out and play.
Yes, we're all hoping for a good game of tennis, and of course, with a Nadal win, it would be good. But no, at the end of it all, a good game of tennis, where both of them, and we've seen this even with Zverev, he's been playing really well, the way he won the quarterfinal as well. So at the end of it all, I think just a good game of tennis is what we're all hoping for. Ankita Bhambre, thank you so much for taking the time out for all of you. She's a coach now in Delhi, in Vasant Vihar. She's coaching little kids. Giving back to the game, so to speak. So thank you for that as well, Ankita, for doing that. I'm sure there are a lot of kids coming out wanting to be like Roger Federer, wanting to be like Rafael Nadal. So that's great.
Thank you so much. I hope a lot of us are going to be rooting for one or the other, but it's time to sit back and enjoy this match. That's probably going to be once in a lifetime.
Okay, so who is it going to be? Whether it'll be Rafael Nadal, can he get to the finals? You know, a lot of people, his fans, would be hoping for that. Or will it be Sasha Zverev from Germany? He's the third seed. Will he be the one who will make it to the finals of this prestigious French Open? Well, that's it from us. Thank you so much, Ankita Bhambre. Once again, News 9 Sports. Thank you. News 9 Sports is what you need to subscribe to for the latest from the world of sports on Facebook as well as on YouTube. That's it. Goodbye. Thanks for watching.